It's Jen with Just Jen Live. I'm so thrilled to have you here for Black History Month. Happy Black History Month. And I have a fabulous guest for you today. Her name is Leslea Tash. But before we meet Leslea, I wanted to give you a little housekeeping. I need you to like and share of my YouTube channel. And so my YouTube channel is bit.ly/JustGenLive. So bit.ly/JustGenLive. So go on there and like the video, share the video, do a comment, please. I would love that. And so you can also get in touch with me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and they're all the same. www.twitter or Facebook or Instagram.com/JustGenLive. And if you want to just know about what I'm doing with my books, it's Just Jen, no live. Okay, the Just Jen Live is with my podcast. So today I am so excited to introduce to some and just acknowledge or reintroduce to others my friend Leslea Tash. Now I'm going to put my glasses on, and so I can just tell you a little more about her. She is a freelance writer, and she writes fiction, nonfiction. And she's got a new genre of writing that she's going to tell us about. So I called her, I said that she has a world of writing because she has all these different types of genres. And she lives at home with her husband, and they have 4 dogs and 4 cats, but they have a lot of room, a lot of land. So the cats and dogs aren't ever bored. And she's always been just a very talented writer, a wonderful, loving, kind mother, just would do anything for her babies. And she has 4 children, but she gives them all each love and kindness. And she's been my friend for more than 20 years now. And she's just a wonderful person through the ups and downs. She's always tried to help people and just been there for everyone. And I just love her. I'm excited for you guys to meet her. So let's get ready and bring her in right now. So please welcome my friend, Leslea Tash. And she's coming in just a second. Here she is. Leslea. Hey, Leslea.
Hello.
So glad to see you. And I was just telling people how wonderful you are and how we've known each other for eons and
forever.
All of that. Yes. And
since before I moved back to Louisville. So like the 90s.
Those were great times, weren't they? And you know, I forgot to tell everybody about my chai. We're drinking my chai tea. So I already told y'all that Leslea is an author. So she's the egg in chai. And so if you're interested in coming on to the show, I'd like for you to talk about the community family, which we're going to do family too, a little family, just little. And then age, health, and wellness over 50, because I'm over 50. I don't know if you are yet. Are you over 50?
I'll be 50 this year.
Okay, but not over. So
right.
You don't count. And then, of course, the A, author life. Leslie's an author / entrepreneurship, because you know we authors have to know a little business savvy, and it's always we'll have business people on here to give advice and talk about things. And then the I is your identity. We might hit a little bit on identity as well. But anyway, Leslea. Okay.
Jen.
So we're going to get into this interview right now.
Mhm.
I'd like to, could you tell us a little bit of what you're doing right now, what you're working on right now, Miss
Right.
Ryder?
I'm working on rewrites for my second novel in a series that's paranormal women's fiction cozy mystery. It's like a mouthful to say that genre.
Yeah.
So sometimes you see it just abbreviated as PWF, cozy. But it's this book in particular, like pretty much all books in that genre, is about a woman over 40 going through some midlife changes. She's not like a young thing looking for romance necessarily, although there are women that are writing those and they're fun to read. I'm not up for writing romance. The character and I have a lot in common. I'm a mom of 4. She's a mom of 4. I have several dogs. She has several dogs, cats, etc. And just like I have spent the past 20 years of my life driving kids around in minivans, so has she. But in her case, her name is Melissa Fitzpatrick. People call her Miss Fitz. And Miss Fitz, she uses her ability to blend in, to the background in her, okay, got something on my screen, sorry. She uses her ability to blend into the background to, investigate things, kind of snoop around without anybody realizing it. So it's a lot of fun to write. She has a lot of the same problems that I have, like with autocorrect. She'll try and talk to her phone and her phone will grossly misunderstand the question she's asking and stuff like that. But
I think
there's
we
like,
all have that problem,
right. Yeah.
I don't even bother with it. Yes.
That's
No.
why I use it as a joke in there. I think everybody can relate to it.
Yes.
But she's got like a magic purse that things she needs will come out of her purse when she needs them. Sometimes it's a megaphone, sometimes it's snacks or something to drink. That mom who always has everything in her purse. Well, that's Missy because her purse is magic. So
Yeah.
so right now I'm doing some rewrites for the second book in that series, and that should be out the end of March. I'm gonna try to get it out earlier than that. It just depends on how much my family will leave me alone to let me write.
Are you going to have a book launch party for that?
I'm not planning on anything right now. I'll do some social media posts and let everybody know that it's out there, but I'm not planning on doing anything special because I want to get to work on the next one fast. It's my
Okay.
goal this time next year to have 2 more in
Because
the
this is a
series
series.
out.
Yeah. I remember you helped me so much with my own books because you're like, Jen, you want to hurry up and get the next
Mm-hmm.
2 at least out as because of the series. So I did. And, a lot of times I just sell them in sets and,
Right.
yeah. And I think
Yeah,
that helps boost your sales.
absolutely.
And everything right now is on sale on my website for 20% off. So it's
I
like
saw
getting
that because of Black History Month, you have a coupon
yeah,
code on there. Yeah, I hope people
yeah,
take advantage of that, especially people who have kids with sensory issues and
most
stuff in their
deaf.
life. So,
Yes,
mhm.
yes, yes, yes. Speaking of which, but I had this question because I know you have written like a lot of fiction and nonfiction, and I was wondering, of all the characters that you've written, once you think of your characters, think the characters, think about the characters. Have you ever written a book with a character that was so deplorable you would never, ever have anything to do with them in person?
I
Have
think
you written?
that's the funnest part of being a novelist
Mhm.
because the best novels are not like, oh, everybody's happy and nothing bad happens for 500 pages. The best novels have somebody in there that's like truly awful. Um, yeah, yeah. Hopefully, every novel has somebody in it that's truly awful, and a lot of people who are just kind of like, like they give you pause, they make you wonder, is this person going to be a thorn in my side, or they mean to be a, jack butt, or that kind of stuff.
Well, tell us about one of them that you wouldn't be friends with.
Well, the one that comes to mind the most is probably so I write my paranormal women's fiction as Red Tash, and then I write other books just as Leslea Tash. And one of my Leslea Tash books is a historical romance. And there's a gal in the first book named Jessica Ward, and she's like a spoiled brat, daughter of a rancher. She's just an awful person. But then I decided to make her like the main character of the next book. So
Oh,
the struggle there was to show her changing from being this total brat jerk to growing into a woman with a gracious, loving heart who could actually like care about people beyond herself. So I would say like Jessica in the first book, I would not want to spend any time with. She's, petty. She's mean, she's backstabbing, she was very selfish, but Jessica by the end of the second book was a solid, person who'd been through something and grown up and found love and had a lot of love to give others. So she changed. But the fun thing about writing the cozy mysteries, is that you can write a real jerk at the beginning of the book, and then they're the victim. You make them the dead one.
Oh, yeah. And everybody's like, oh, I'm so sorry. But
right.
like, I'm so glad she's gone.
Right. But really, on the other hand, they're like, the reader doesn't have to feel bad, because it's not like the reader has lost somebody. They're like, well, at least it was a jerk that died. That's a new genre for me.
Right.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
love it. Okay, can you please tell us more about how you started your whole world of writing? That's my new little name. That's the new catchphrase, world of writing. Because as I was telling y'all in the introduction about my friend Leslea, she just is such an amazing writer. She's written children's books, like middle ages or middle school, and she's written adult books. She's written fiction and nonfiction and freelancing. I would actually like to know more about your freelance work too. Maybe I can do a little of that. But anyway, tell us about the world of writing, please.
Okay, so the world of writing, I'm sure you can relate to this. Like, I started writing very young. It was not something that I could turn off. Like, as soon as I knew how to write, I was trying to write novels, and I would write poems, and my parents would send them into the Courier Journal and they would put them on that. Do you remember they had that kids page?
From here, remember?
Oh, that's right. You're from Tennessee. Well, when we were little, there was a Courier Journal in the Louisville Times. I don't remember which one, but they had like a kids page. It was nothing but content for kids. And then they would have like little poems and short stories by kids.
Aww.
So that was the first thing I ever had technically published, was a really simple little poem about fall. And then I think I came home from summer camp one summer where we had made a newspaper at camp, and I made a newspaper for my 4th grade class. Like, I sat down and I did every page. I had my dad take it to work. He worked at GE, and he made photocopies of it there, because this was before you could get photocopies made
Oh, yeah.
of places, so he made like 30 copies of that thing, and there I stood outside the door of the 4th grade and I passed these things out. So then in high school,
like them? Did your class think, oh, this is cool, Leslea?
Some of them did, and some of them were like, you're stupid, they're in the garbage. But most people, there's always, that's the thing. There's always somebody who's like, that's dumb. But like, I drew cartoons in there and everything. I wish I had a copy of it now, because I'm sure it was quite the accomplishment. But then I ended up being on the newspaper staff in high school, and I really had a strong liking for yearbook, and I had a talent for page design and yearbook design, and I won some awards from the state of Indiana for the highest school. I won like editor of the year and and I won like excellence in page design and all this stuff. So that gave me a lot of confidence that I could do that. But then I didn't go to college for that, because I wanted something more practical. Everybody was like, you can't make any money as a journalist. And they tell you that, you can't make any money writing books. It's like the main thing you hear when you tell somebody that
Right.
you're interested in writing. So I ended up getting my degree in accounting.
I remember, yeah.
Yeah, I remember I was an auditor and I used to do taxes, and I just ended up writing anyway. There was an opportunity that came up online. I had a blog, and I was a real popular blogger on Zanga when that was still around. And there's some opportunity that came up to write a column twice a month about being a food allergy parent.
Oh,
which
okay.
I was, and that was a
Yes.
good opportunity to get that information out there. So they wanted me to write one article a month about that, and then the other article just anything about my family, like family and parenting. And at the time here, I had 3 little boys.
I remember.
3 boys in less than 4 years, and I'm like,
I
this could be
remember.
fun. So between the blogging every day, like writing, I would probably write 2,000 to 4,000 words a day, just getting stuff off my chest. And that first freelance gig working for that website, I started building what they call a clip file. And then I just started reaching out to all of the newspapers and the magazines in the Louisville area. And there's no reason why you couldn't do that. You could absolutely do that. And just said, hey, I'm available. And I started getting assignments pretty much right away. I did a lot of I would say interior decorating stories, which is ironic when you see my house. I'm not anything
Girl,
crazy.
stop. Don't even go there. Don't go there.
I'm not even
you have 4 dogs and 4 cats. That's a lot to keep. And 4 kids. Well, now 3 are grown, but still.
But yeah. And I think anybody's house after 2 years of the pandemic, we all need that service. Where they come to your house and they clean out your ducts, like they plug into your air conditioning ducts and they suck everything out. I just want one to go to my whole front door and just suck everything that's not nailed down out of the house, and we'll just start over again. If they could just do that.
I told you I'd help you one day, Leslie, because you're my friend. But you know me. I'm just very particular. I'll be throwing stuff. I'm like, look, you don't need that. You don't throw that out. Yeah.
My fear is that you'll kill yourself, because your house is immaculate. Your house
is not.
Trust me, you would die over here. You would die.
Your house. I've been there. Okay.
But now what were we even talking about? We were talking about the freelance thing. How do we get from freelancing to my horrible housekeeping?
It's not horrible. It's lived in a little extra. But like I said,
very extra.
I would help you, because when I come to visit, I'm visiting you, not your home.
I'm afraid that if you do that, though, you will never want to meet me for lunch or breakfast again, because you'll be like, oh, I have known her all these years and I never knew how filthy she was.
It's not like you're cooking the food, so it's all good. No, I'm just joking.
You came over to my old house in New Albany.
Yeah.
But I have 3 more dogs and too many cats and another kid. And yeah, it's just kind of and plus where we live here, there's all these trees outside. So everybody tracks in leaves. You could sweep up a whole wreath full of leaves from our living room every day. It's just,
They don't wipe their feet off. You should make them start taking off their shoes.
They do. Everybody wipes off. It's just the wind and everything. But
when you open the doors,
I said, if somebody would have that service, they just come up, just seal off the front door, and then just vacuum suck the whole house out.
It doesn't work like that, darling. No,
I would pay for that. I would pay for that.
Girl, I know. You got a lot going on, though.
But no, so we were talking about the interior design articles. That's what we were talking about.
Because we're talking about all this freelance writing.
Yes, that was the main thing that I did for years. Was I would go around and people would have these beautiful homes, and I would ask them about the history of their homes, and there would be a photographer with me who would do photos of the homes and all these unique things. And honestly, I don't have a real passion for that kind of thing. So I did write a column for the local paper about my family, and that
Mhm.
became syndicated nationally, and I enjoyed that. It
Uh-huh.
didn't pay a lot, but I got to the point where I was like, okay, I can put my writing energy. I only have so much writing energy in this bucket,
Yes.
and I can pour
Mhm.
it out into these things, or I can try to pour it out into something new. And that's when I got into the writing fiction.
Got you.
So,
Got
and that was after my youngest was born, so about 10 years ago.
well, who do you think is your biggest cheerleader? I don't think you answered me when I asked you that. Or,
Besides
well,
you,
besides me.
obviously Tim, you're number one, followed closely by
Really?
my
I
husband.
was just joking when I said that.
You are though, you're up there in the top, I would say in the top four, because there's my husband, Tim, he's extremely encouraging.
Mhm.
And then I would put you and my two other besties equal.
Okay.
Chrissy and Kat are both very supportive. I do have another friend, Emma, who is very supportive of my writing. Um, but yeah, you're right up there. You're definitely right up there. You never, even if I haven't talked about writing for a while, there were years where I was too busy with my kids, like the special
Mhm.
needs and all that, where I wasn't even writing, and you'd always be like, "Well, have you been writing?" Like, no.
I remember telling you, you need to write every day, Lesley. You need to do that every day. Just find some time. I remember telling you that. Now that you mentioned it, I forgot. I do
Mhm.
good deeds and just forget about it. I'm like, I just plant the seeds, plant the seeds. Well, you're doing,
I got seeds in my living room. They come in with the
oh my
breeze.
God, stop. So how many books do you have now, Lesley? How many
I
books
don't
do you have now?
How many books?
Mhm.
That's a really
You
good
have a
question.
lot.
Yeah, as far as novel length books,
Just all the books.
well, do you consider an ebook to be a book length? Because some ebooks are more like a pamphlet or a booklet
Oh.
length. You know what I mean? Just a few thousand words.
A book that I can go to the library and check out. A book.
Um, I don't know. There's more than a dozen, I'm sure.
Girl, you better get that count together and find out. So your next interview, when
Ah,
you're a millionaire, you can
yeah,
say, yes, I have 15 books now.
I've lost count, darling. I let my people take care of that.
Just look me up. Look me up. And then put your pointer finger out and count the number, baby. Count the number. Okay. So anyway, okay, let's see. If you could change anything about your journey, what would you change?
I think when we think about changing stuff from our past, we
Mm,
think about things that cause us the most pain.
yes.
But I like who I am. I'm really happy with who I am. So, I mean, if I took that pain away, I don't like
Mm,
to think of the version of me who I would be.
right,
So,
right, right.
nothing.
Maybe not all the pain, but maybe some of it, like maybe the pain that I mean, I don't know if this is, the kind of pain that makes you stay up at night. Maybe that pain you might would want to take away. Maybe. I don't
I,
know. But I hear what you're saying.
yeah, I mean, I have a pretty clear conscience about things. I think a lot about really important decisions before I make them. I've never been one to just jump into something.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, and then I think once you reach that place where you do feel good about your decision making, you do sleep at night with a clear conscience, you don't want to mess that up,
Yeah.
so you're less likely to make major boo-boos.
Got you.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
I do. I do. So, okay. Well, if you weren't running your world of writing, what would you be doing right now if you weren't writing? Accounting?
No. No, I
You
didn't
did my
enjoy.
tasks for me a few times. And
I
I
did.
remember I asked you to do my tasks. And you're like, honey, I just don't do it. I said, you can't do it one more year. You're like, no, Jen, I'm done.
I did. I got to the end of the rainbow on that where I was like, I'm just going to do the freelance. I'm going to go out, look at people's pretty houses and write articles about that instead. Um,
Yes.
no, I wouldn't be doing Texas. Um, I have this fantasy that I would be making coffee for people, like as a barista, but I don't know if I would really like that. Because there's a lot of peopling. I think I'd be worn out, like really worn out at the end of the
Yeah,
shift. You know how I don't like to go out and be face to face with people, and that would be the whole job.
right.
Um,
All the
so
time in your face. Yeah.
maybe
I
I
know what
think
you
realistically, if I
mean.
were not writing, I
Mhm,
would be taking some art classes and learning how to become an illustrator. I think that would be
oh,
wonderful.
yes. That might be something you do in your when once, well, you're real close to being a total empty nester like
Yeah.
me. Living my best life.
About
You-
8 more years. 8 more
yeah,
years.
just eight. But I tell you, like it, I didn't know. I do miss Malia.
Hmm.
And now, like before, she was one way, but since she's been in college, she just seems to appreciate me and
Hmm.
what I've done for her more. And she's just so mature. It's just nice to see. It's nice to
Hmm.
see that all the things that you taught your child are coming together for the good. And she's starting to figure it all out and just, it just feels good. And I like that. So it's all good. Okay.
I like seeing you trying out all these different things, like doing this YouTube series, and you started with the writing books. I mean, you retired, which was a huge life change. And then the writing books, doing the show. Maybe you get to be an illustrator next. Imagine if you could
Ugh.
write and illustrate your own books,
No
though.
thanks. Not even something I want to do. Yeah.
Okay, well, maybe I'll do it for you then when I get back.
Yes, that would be great. We can work together. Oh, we should work together on like a children's book.
Right now, all I could do would be like stick people, but that's fine,
No,
right?
I mean, no, I'm talking about the writing,
Oh, I
writing
gotcha.
a
I
children's
gotcha.
book, or especially, oh, we can't give away all of our ideas. People might be listening,
Okay.
but maybe even something about, well, I was gonna say like race, like subtly in there, like maybe a situation. Well, I won't tell all of my good information. Y'all might try to copy. I see you trying to get my ideas. Not just joking. Anyway,
Not
so
me. I can't remember my own ideas, let alone steal someone
it's
else's.
not you, because I'll be writing with you. Oh, maybe like, okay, did you read Wonder
No.
into a
Mm-mm.
movie?
No,
I
I'm
really,
familiar with it though.
I
Yeah.
really like that book. In the fact that it told the story and then it from different perspectives. Every chapter was a different person's perspective, and I like that. And I would like to do a book like that maybe with you about like the way people racial things.
I
And
think
it
that's
might
a
not even
great
be a
idea.
children's book, it could be an adult book.
What
But
about a middle grade to young adult type book?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
What do you think about that?
I'm up for it, yeah, because a lot of things, just life situations I've seen
Mhm.
happen. And I'm thinking one way, or I'm seeing it one way based on my experiences in
Mhm.
life. And
Mhm.
then another person sees it totally different. It's not anything near what I was thinking, and it's like, who's right, who's wrong? Is there a right or wrong? Is there a gray? I don't know. That just came to me as an
That
idea.
could be fun though. Yeah, we'll
And I
talk
love
about
this.
that. Next time we have breakfast, we'll talk
Yes,
about that.
yes, yes. Guys, I have a power breakfast with Leslea like once a month or so. And we just talk about the kids and we try not to talk about them too much because we just want to talk about ourselves because it's about us. So anyway, but we're still talking about the kids and the husband. But anyway,
And
husband.
then Jen gets up and introduces herself to everyone in the restaurant. And then usually 2 or 3 people come through the restaurant who she knows before. So this is the
Everyone
truth.
loves Jen. I don't know.
This is the truth.
So you know what? I'm always seeing people I know. I was in Indiana and there were people that I knew there. I was like, wow, I really do know everybody.
That's what I'm saying. You could have a TV show. I mean, no problem. Just tell
Yeah.
Dawn G to give you a call when she needs somebody to fill in or something.
Yes. Sounds good to me. Okay. Okay. Next question, girl.
Yes.
What's next for you?
Like in writing stuff,
In
what's next for
life,
me?
in
Okay.
life, and whatever you want to share.
So after 2 years of pandemic lockdown, and after some kid shuffling stuff has happened, I am going to have my own office with a door that shuts very soon. So besides my writing goals on my mind, I actually am probably after this interview, I'm going to go and order a desk online. And soon I'm going to get a desk and a chair set up in that room. And I've got carpet coming in a couple of weeks. So I've got a couple of weeks to finish getting it painted. And that'll be an exciting new chapter of life for me. That may sound really lame to everybody, but
No.
we've had
Mm-mm.
6 people in this house for years, and I've just never had a space of my own to write in. So I'm excited about that. And then we have a Disney vacation coming up. That'll be fun.
Oh
Yes.
gosh. Yeah.
Yes.
You
Um,
know what? My friend Melissa, the one that lives in Indiana like you, when she went to Disney, there was like these websites and stuff or tips and I'll have, do you know what I'm talking about?
I
There are
do.
tips and
Mm-hmm.
tricks and she
Mm-hmm.
got some good deals.
Yeah, it can become like a major hobby, major pastime. Just researching all that stuff and figuring out what to do and how to get the best deal on it. And yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
And I know you're up for that,
Oh
girl.
yeah.
Yes. Okay, so where can my listeners find you? I know they're going to want to find you, but where?
Oh.
How? Tell us, please.
um Well, probably Instagram and Facebook are the 2 places that I go to the most if you want to connect with me personally.
Okay.
My Instagram account is Treehouse Time because the house we live in, as I said, is in the woods where
Yes,
all those
it
leaves come
is.
in. And
Yes,
so
it
our
is.
Instagram account is Treehouse Time. And you can I if I'm up and about and feeling well, then I will post usually a picture every day. Something will catch my eye and I will post a picture. And then I'm on Facebook. I do have Leslea Tash Facebook author page and Red Tash Facebook author page, both of those. And you can also send me a friend request or a follow request. On my personal Facebook page, I don't have, I keep that small on purpose,
Mhm.
but I don't mind if people follow. And then
Okay.
on the Red Tash, I mean that's a pseudonym, so that's fine. Anybody can friend me there who wants to. And of course, my website is planettash.com. So
Yes. Well, I'll have all of that in the description box, but I wanted you to tell everyone about them. Just give them something to do. Okay, well, how can we find all of your amazing books besides Amazon? I know
Right.
Amazon.
Right. If you go to planettash.com, I have to pull it up to tell you exactly how to navigate to it, but there's links there
Okay.
to like there's a Red Tash page and that has links, to Amazon, iTunes,
Oh,
Kobo, Hoopla. I mean, yes, a lot of my books you can check out from the library for free.
okay.
So there's a page there for Leslea Tash and there's a page for Red Tash.
Okay. Okay. And both of them are you.
That's me. That's me. Yeah. It's just, not everybody who reads historical fiction that has like a really strong Christian theme to it, not
Mhm.
everyone who reads that kind of thing is comfortable reading modern fiction about a lady with a magic purse.
Right,
Some people can't deal with that. And so
right,
I do under the two different names so those people can be more comfortable with what they are buying.
right. Got you. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, Leslie, it's been a joy, a pleasure, a dream. Okay. Being here with you today. Well, do you have any parting words for my listeners?
If you're interested in writing, just do it. Don't mess around waiting, trying to figure out what the best way is to do it. Take Jen's advice from me and write every day.
Mhm.
And, maybe not everything that you write is something you want to do something with. Maybe it is. Just write it. And if you get inspired to turn it into a magazine or a newspaper or to turn it into a children's book or a novel or whatever, just do it. There's nothing holding you back. You might have to pay a little extra to get somebody to edit for you,
Mhm.
but there's no reason not to create, not to write.
Right.
That's
And
your soul. You express your soul.
yes, and you know what? Speaking of editing,
Mhm.
there's some books that I picked up to read because was interested in the story. And the person was telling me, so I said, let me read this. And oh my God, the dangling participles, the non-subject and verb agreement, the misspelled words are not you words are spelled right but used incorrectly, usage issues. Oh my God, horrible. I mean,
Mhm.
the run on sentence. Oh my God, horrible. I was
See,
like, this is
everybody
awful.
everybody needs to have trusted, capable readers who are willing to look over their work, and everybody needs to fork out some money and pay for someone to edit their work.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. I have an English minor, okay?
Yeah.
And I love English, but I had someone edit my work. Now, I didn't have the last one edited. I didn't. But I had a lot of people read it, and
I
it's
mean,
a children's book. But
it's a picture book. Yeah. I
yeah.
mean,
So this is one time, but yeah, but I really, really, really made sure,
mhm.
but I'm sorry, those people that I'm referring to, I just can't see that they just either didn't listen to the people or they just thought that they were just perfect or something. I don't know, but the writing was deplorable, horrible, and terrible. One time, I won't say what church, but I was going to this church and the pastor was talking about his uncle's book. Um, I won't say the title. I'll tell you personally. But anyway, I was, like the uncle had been on Skid Row, went from the bottom to the top, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, this sounds like a wonderful book. I was so excited to get the book because my friend was a librarian at a church and she had it in the church library. And I was reading it. It was the worst piece of crap I've ever read. Like I could barely get through the first chapter because he was writing about what was going on present day for then, I guess, in the present tense. Then he went back and talked about something that happened 5 years prior. I said, oh, okay. It's past, he's talking about the past. Okay, I can get that. Then he moves to the present again and didn't tell you and no transit. It was horrible.
So, like,
So
he
frustrated.
it was probably really good for him to write all that and get it out of his system, but it wasn't shaped and molded into a readable story.
It was
You know,
awful. It was
and
the
that's
worst book
I,
ever.
I think that's the part that a lot of people don't want to do because the funnest part is coming up with the ideas and writing that part
Mhm.
down. But when you have to go back and you have to comb through it and it all is, beautiful and flawless and get everything exactly right, it's very tiresome. I mean,
Yes.
that's a lot of work. That part is like doing taxes.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
just, making sure everything is right. And then you'll
Right.
think you've got it all right. And someone says, oh, hey, sorry, I didn't ask you this a month ago, but I was just wondering, did these two scenes take place on the same day? Because you said she went to bed, and then the next page you says she was afternoon. I think you got that, and you're like, oh, geez, I gotta figure out a way to add a day in there and explain all this.
Oh,
There's just a lot of stuff like that that you gotta fix.
right,
Um,
exactly. Yeah,
so,
exactly. I'm feeling you.
but,
Yes.
but
Uh,
write it. I mean, those would be my
but
parting
right.
words. Just write it. You don't have to publish it if it's not, up to
And get
quality, but
an editor. An editor will help you with all
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Just write it, get it down, get an editor, a developmental
Maybe
editor to
maybe
help.
you could be an editor, Jen.
I could be. I really could because I deplore bad writing.
There you go. There you
It
go.
doesn't make any sense. Oh, girl, I can't take it. No, I mean, you have to be a strong person to work with me because I'm just.
You charge them more. The more you charge people, the
Mhm.
more they like to be yelled at, I think. So you
Oh,
charge them, charge them a
I'll
whole
charge them.
bunch.
I'm like, this is ridiculous,
There you
really. I
go.
mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but it just doesn't make sense. I mean,
People pay extra for that. I think you can do that.
oh yes, I'll be rich.
We'll be on that yacht, the editing yacht.
Yeah. Woohoo. Okay, so we got to tell the joke. Well, it's not a joke, it's for reals. I said that when I'm rich and famous, well, I don't want to be too famous because yeah. When I have get a lot of money from my podcast and my books, I'm gonna be going on a yacht with a yacht party with all of my supporters and friends,
Mm-hmm.
the people that supported me and believed in me and my vision, which
Mm-hmm.
when I went into business writing these books, it was not about, I mean, of course I like money to be comfortable and I want to make my money back, but it's not about the money for me. It is about helping parents and helping
Yeah.
children so that they don't feel alone, because
Right.
those sensory issues are something else. You're hearing things other people can't hear, or you're not hearing, over or under, right? Or you're not
Mm-hmm.
hearing things that other people can hear. You just want to fly and fall out the window and do daredevil stuff, and everybody's looking at you strange like, what's wrong with him? Or you're afraid to walk. You're afraid to walk backwards. You're afraid you're going to, it's over or under. In both issues, you're going to have some trouble. So I just wanted to help and support those parents and those children so they wouldn't feel alone. And because it is polarizing at times. As the mama, I know it has to be hard for the child. I mean, I know it's hard for kids too. So,
Absolutely. We see it in the way they react, but
yeah.
yeah.
Yes. But anyway, girl, it was so nice talking with you, Leslea. I love you, girl.
I love you too. Here's my face. I wasn't even planning on having my face on here, but
I
here
know.
I
See, you
am.
probably wouldn't have done it for anybody but Jen. Yay.
That is the truth. That is the truth.
Well, honey, I thank you. I am gonna say ta-ta to you. Want to do my ending, and I'll be talking to you later.
All right, honey.
Bye,
Good night.
Leslea. Okay, Leslea was awesome. I told you guys you would love her. So I want to remind you again of the 20% off sale on my website, www.jennoonspalding.com. Please check me out on Instagram at JustJenLive, on Twitter at JustJenLive, and on Twitter, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at JustJenLive. And if you want to know more about my books, just look me up on at JustJen. Well, I am so glad that you came to visit. And guys, don't forget to like and subscribe my YouTube channel. And you can find that bit.ly/JustJenLive. So check me out. Thank you for spending your time with me today. I know there's a gazillion other things you could be doing today, but you chose to be with me, so I appreciate it. And I will see you next week. Bye.